Hey guys, Ray here. Hope you are all doing well. Today I thought we'd do something a little bit different. As many of you know, I am actually a moderator on one of the larger amp forums out there. And as you probably are aware, there's always lots of discussions on YouTube, on chat forum, all over the place about OD pedals. And so one of the questions that comes up quite a bit is, what is your favorite and why? And so I was going to do a little video here to kind of point out a couple of my favorites. I have a fair amount of OD different pedals and thought it would be helpful to kind of play a couple of different ones, test out some different ones, some of the ones that I like, and then kind of talk about a couple of my real favorites and the ones that are kind of my go-to. So we're going to test out a handful of different pedals today. The Electro-Harmonic Soul Food, the Boss Blues Driver, the BD2, the BB Preamp, the Ibanez TS-9, the Boss SD1, and the Fulltone OCD. And then also I'm going to throw in the Friedman Friedman BE-OD pedal. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. Going to be playing it through my Fender Blacktop. It has two humbucker pickups, not single coils, so it's going to be a little more chunky. I thought it'd be good for this video here. I'm going to be playing it through the Peavey 6505 112 combo, but I'm actually not running through the speaker. I'm actually going to be running it through an ISO cab that I have set up so it kind of isolate the sound. And I'll try not to talk too much. I'll kind of tell you a little bit about, with all the different pedals, I use them for different reasons. I like the Boss Blues Driver actually with my Marshall. I have the year was a 74, the model's a 1987, and it sounds really good. It's not so much just the OD I like to add a little color. Same with the Friedman BE-OD. I actually like to use that pedal. I like to use the drive on a clean amp, so I'll set my settings to clean because I like the actual tone of the pedal. The other pedals that I use are strictly for a clean boost, volume up, the level of gain all the way down. I don't add much, if any at all, drive from them. It's all volume. I also have a few Wampler pedals that I'm not testing right now, just because I think that they are kind of a different purpose pedal, to be honest with you. The Sovereign and the Euphoria are just kind of different pedals. I think altogether the Sovereign's actually a distortion pedal, and I use that kind of rarely. And the Euphoria I actually just don't use that much anymore. But these pedals I use quite a bit. The OCD, the SD1, the TS-9, the BB Preamp, the Blues Driver, and the Soul Food. So let's go ahead and play some of the different sounds. I'll be wearing my headphones. Again, I'm going to be running through a 1982 Celestion G12t75. It's not too bright, it's not too dark. I think it does a pretty good. I think it does an okay job. So what you're hearing right now is actually just the amp. All the settings are pretty much at noon right now. I have the gain right about noon too, so it's not too heavy, so that I can use the OD. Okay, let's test the first one. First one is the Soul Food. Again, volume all the way up, no drive added to it. Again, just kind of playing some chords so you get a feel for it. That's the Soul Food. Next one is the Blues Driver. Next one, BB Preamp. next one is the Ibanez TS-9. Now for the Boss SD1, the Super Overdrive. Okay. Now the Fulltone OCD. Now I'm actually going to test the Friedman BE-OD as a clean boost. It tends to be a little bit on the heavy gainy side, so I have the volume up just a little bit with no distortion added. Actually sounded better than I thought. It sounds pretty decent as a clean boost. So, excuse me. So that's all the different pedals. I'll kind of go through them real quick here, just as a quick little kind of a couple different chords you can kind of hear. Again, the Friedman BE-OD. The OCD. Boss SD1. Ibanez TS-9. The BB Preamp. Sorry, I hit the volume there. Blues Driver. Boss. And then last but not least, the Soul Food. Oops. Sounds like one of the chords are kind of coming loose there. Okay, so those are, and then again, without anything, with no pedals on. You know, I like this guitar. One of the biggest beefs I have is that where they put the volume switch here, it's right where my hand goes, and so every time I'm strumming, I'm knocking the volume down. I need to either change it or move it or stop playing it. But so that's kind of all the different pedals. that I really like to use. To be honest, kind of full disclosure on the pedals, my go-to pedals are the TS-9, the Ibanez TS-9 and the SD1. I love these pedals for a lot of different reasons. Number one, they're strong as can be. They're both bulletproof. They are reasonably priced. I mean, they're all over. You can buy them anywhere for a really good price. You can get them, I mean, the TS-9, I'm not sure how much you can get it really used. I'd say 50, 60 bucks maybe. The SD1 are everywhere. You can get those. I've seen those at Guitar Center for 30 bucks. Used, of course. But I love these two pedals. For some reason, these two pedals I feel don't color my tone as much. I think the TS-9, the Ibanez, is maybe a little bit warmer, I'd say, than the SD1. But I do love the SD1 for different reasons. When I want to brighten things up a little bit, I'll actually use the SD1. I find myself using the TS-9 almost exclusively. I use it heavily with my rectifiers, Mesa rectifiers, my RA100. I use it with my Peavey, and I use it with different rectifiers. I use it with different, for Marshalls, the JCM800, I find that I like to actually stack my pedals. I will stack the TS-9 and the SD1. I'll turn the volumes down a bit, and it really kind of fattens things up a bit so you can stack, and I think those two pedals stack well. Sometimes when you try to stack other pedals, it gets fuzzy and kind of flubby and it doesn't work well. These two pedals work great together. The Soul Food, I think, is a great pedal. When I bought it new for 55 bucks, and the whole idea there is that they AB'd the Soul Food with some of the clone pedals, and they said that they were very close. I don't use the Soul Food quite as much. I think it tends to be a little bit bright at times. Even when I try to back it down, sometimes it works, but for the heavier stuff that I play, you can't go wrong with the TS-9 or the SD1. Blues Driver, again, I love using that with my Marshalls. The BB Preamp, I think, is an awesome pedal. I use it a lot. I think it's a little less on the heavy side, and it seems to warm things up. Pretty good pedal. The OCD is a good pedal. I like it. I think it tends sometimes to get a little bit, and I'm probably going to get killed for this, a little sloppy, I'd say, at times. It kind of gets a little hard for me to dial in, so I don't use that quite as much. The Beam Free E, the BE-OD, love the pedal. I don't use it as much as a clean boost, as I mentioned before, but I do like using it with clean amps. I think it has its own tone altogether, so I'll play with that a bit. It actually is fairly fat sound for a pedal. If you haven't tried one, I highly recommend picking one up and giving it a try. But that's pretty much it. I just wanted to give a chance for you to hear the different pedals. Some of our members on the forum wanted to hear some of my favorites, and so I thought I'd put this together so they could see it, and then talk a little bit about what some of the pros and maybe some of the cons of these different pedals. Again, there's a million different pedal reviews out there. I did this one just to kind of talk a little bit about the pedals I use and why I like them with my different amps. Again, the TS-9 and the SD1 seems to be the most versatile for me. I like to use them just because they don't really color the tone as much. Price is great. They stack well. They're built like tanks, and just all around great pedals. That's about it. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions or if there's something else you'd like to see, let me know. Thank you very much for subscribing. I think that's awesome. Thank you. And if there's anything you would like to see or any questions or any comments, please leave them below. Thanks for checking out the video today, and I will see you again real soon.